Hi there, Wonder Friends. Welcome back to Lucas's Wonder Tales, where every bedtime becomes a magical adventure. Are you ready for today's story? It's all about a little bear, a missing jar of honey, and a very important lesson about honesty. So snuggle in, get cozy, and let's find out what happens in Benny the Bear and the Missing Honey. Let the story begin. In the heart of a quiet, sunny forest called Sunnywood lived a young bear named Benny. Benny was fluffy, brown, and always smiling. He loved playing with his friends, splashing in the river, climbing trees, and most of all, eating honey. One morning, the forest was extra busy and full of excitement. It was the day of the Great Honey Picnic, a special event held only once a year. All the animals brought jars of their favorite honey to share under the giant oak tree in the center of Sunnywood. Benny had been looking forward to it all month. He jumped out of bed, rubbed his eyes, and stretched. "Today's the day," he shouted, giggling. He ran straight to the cupboard where he kept his jar of honey, the special wildflower honey he had saved just for the picnic. But when he opened the door, it was empty. Benny blinked. "That's strange," he said, scratching his head. He checked under the table, behind the curtains, and even inside his backpack. No honey. He said slowly. "Did I eat it already?" Then he saw it, a trail of sticky footprints leading out the door. Benny followed the trail through the forest, past the berry bushes, around the squirrel treehouse, and finally behind a big rock near the stream. There, hiding with his back turned, was Riley the raccoon, Benny's best friend. "Riley!" Benny called. Riley jumped and turned around quickly. His paws were sticky, and beside him sat an empty jar, the same jar Benny had been looking for. Benny frowned. "Riley, is that my honey?" Riley looked down, his striped tail drooping. I'm sorry, Benny," he whispered. "I just wanted a tiny taste, but it was so yummy, and I kept eating. I didn't mean to take the whole thing." Benny's heart sank. "Why didn't you ask?" "I was scared," said Riley. "I thought you might say no, and I didn't want to miss the picnic." Benny sat down beside his friend. He was quiet for a moment. Then he said gently, "You made a mistake, Riley. But I'm glad you told the truth. That was the right thing to do." Riley sniffled. "Are you mad?" "I'm sad," Benny said honestly. "But I forgive you." Suddenly, they heard voices calling their names. It was Lily the lamb, Timothy the turtle, and Max the monkey carrying extra jars of honey. "We heard what happened," said Lily. "So we all brought some of ours to share with you." Benny's eyes lit up. "Really? You'd do that?" "Of course," Max laughed. "Friends help friends, especially honest ones." Riley looked up with a small smile. "Thank you, everyone. I'll make it up to you all. I'll help clean up after the picnic." And that's exactly what he did. That afternoon, all the animals sat under the giant oak tree. They ate honey, sang songs, and told funny stories. Benny and Riley sat side by side, dipping biscuits into their honey and laughing together. From that day on, Riley never took anything without asking again. He learned that being honest might be hard sometimes, but it's always the bravest and best choice. And Benny? He learned that forgiving a friend can make your heart feel even sweeter than honey. The end.